Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at the all-new Radiomaster's ELRS 2.4 GHz PWM telemetry receivers. Now we have already seen the ER5A and the ER5C PWM receivers by Radiomaster, which were compact receivers made for the RC cars, trucks, RC boats, and fixed-wing aircrafts, but these did not have telemetry. Now, if you haven't seen the video of these, the link to it is in the video description down below. Now, I, for one, love these receivers for the simple fact that they have awesome range, low latency, and the simplistic binding procedures. You simply add a binding phrase in the ELRS Wi-Fi web user interface for both the receiver and the transmitter, so they bind automatically, or power up the receiver twice quickly, and on the third time leave it on for the receiver's LED light to double blink, which indicates it is ready to bind. Set up the transmitter on the ELRS LUA script and hit the bind tab, and that is exactly how all of these new receivers will bind as well. Now, once bound to your transmitter, it reliably maintains a super stable connection, ensuring smooth and uninterrupted control of your RC models. Now, these ELRS receivers have impressive range, offering a solid signal reception over long distances and reducing the chances of interference or loss of control. Now, these ELRS receivers came with the ELRS 2 firmware, so you have to update them, and I did so. But these new receivers will all have the stable and up-to-date 3.2.1 firmware pre-installed. So make sure your transmitter has the ELRS 3 firmware to match. So first we have the ER4. Now this is a 4-channel receiver, and this receiver is for small aircrafts, boats, cars, and general use. Now the antenna measures in at 15 centimeters, which is 150 millimeters, and the input voltage is from 4.5 to 8.4 volts. The telemetry power is 10 milliwatts. Now the battery voltage detection from the external voltage pad is from 4 to 35 volts, and they do provide you with the single wire to solder on. Now it weighs in at 3 grams, which is very, very light, and the dimensions are 30 by 15 by 5 millimeters. And the price, it is going to be selling for $14.99, which is pretty good. Next up is the ER6. Now this one comes in this nice plastic casing, which is really, really nice. Now this receiver is for fixed wing aircrafts, RC cars, RC boats, and general applications. Input power is from 4.5 to 8.4 volts, and the antenna on this one is a 20 centimeter high sensitivity dual antenna. It is a 6-channel receiver. It has 100 milliwatts of telemetry power, and it is LUA script adjustable. Now the battery voltage detection is a port, and we are provided with a single wire wiring harness for it. And the detection is from 4 volts to 35 volts, and it weighs in at 15.2 grams. This one also has an external 4-pin UART port, which will be used for optional telemetry sensors such as a GPS and Vario sensors. And a combined current voltage external sensor is planned for a later release. And you are also provided with the 4-pin wiring harness as well. The dimensions are 43 by 25 by 15 millimeters, and the price is $24.99. Next up is the ER6G. Now this is a 6-channel receiver, but it comes with only 5 sets of servo connectors. So if you need that 6th channel, there are 3 pads here, and they do provide you with some header pins to solder on yourself if you really need that 6th channel. Now, the input voltage is 3.5 to 8.4 volts as well. It has 50 milliwatts of telemetry power, LUA script adjustable, and the battery voltage detection is via the external voltage pad from 4 to 35 volts, and you are provided with the single wire to solder on yourself. It has dual 15 centimeter high sensitivity antenna, weighs in at just 5 grams. The dimensions are 42 by 13 by 8 millimeters. Good for small to medium gliders. Competition use when various sensors are prohibited. The price, $29.99. Next up, we have the ER6GV. Now, these are for the F3K, the F5J, and other small gliders. Now, it is a 6-channel receiver with 5 servo pins. And again, if you need the 6th channel, you will have to solder on the header pins yourself. And we are provided with the header pins. The input voltage is 3.5 to 8.4 volts. And it has 20 centimeter high sensitivity dual antennas. It has 100 milliwatts of telemetry power, LUA script adjustable. Now this one has a built-in high precision vario sensor and hence the name 6GV. Now external battery voltage detection is 4 to 35 volts via the external voltage pad, and a single wire is provided for you to solder on. It weighs in at 10.5 grams. The dimensions are 60 by 13.5 by 13 millimeters, and the price is $34.99. Okay, so let's move on to the 8-channel receivers, and this is the ER8. It is an 8-channel PWM receiver. Comes with a plastic case just like the ER6, but it is 8 channels. The input voltage is again from 4.5 to 8.4 volts. It has 20 centimeter high sensitivity dual antennas. It has 100 milliwatts of telemetry power, LUA script adjustable. Now the battery voltage detection is from 4 to 35 volts via the external voltage port with the single wire wiring harness. Now this one also has the external 4-pin UART port, which will be used for optional telemetry sensors such as GPS and vario sensors, and the wiring harness comes with it as well. It weighs in at 17.5 grams. Dimensions are 43 by 30 by 15 millimeters. Applications are for general use, and the price $34.99. Next we have the ER8G. It is also a 8-channel PWM receiver. The input voltage is 3.5 to 8.4 volts as well. Comes with 20 centimeter high sensitivity dual antennas. It has 100 milliwatts of telemetry power, LUA script adjustable. Now the voltage detection is from 4 to 35 volts via the external voltage pad, and it comes with a single wire to solder on. Now this one also has an external 4-pin UART port, which is shrink wrap covered, which will be used for optional telemetry sensors such as GPS and vario sensors, and here is the wiring harness for it. It weighs in at 10.5 grams. Dimensions are 60 by 13.5 by 13 millimeters. Good for large gliders. Competition use where vario sensors are prohibited. The price $34.99. And finally, we have the ER8GV. It is an 8-channel PWM receiver, 3.5 to 8.4 input voltage, and we have the 20 centimeter high sensitivity dual antennas, 100 milliwatts of telemetry power, LUA script adjustable, and it has a built-in vario sensor, and hence the name ER8GV. 4 to 35 volt battery voltage detection via the external voltage pad and the single wire to solder on is provided. It also has an external 4-pin UART port, which will be used for optional telemetry sensors such as GPS and Vario sensors. Dimensions are 60 by 13.5 by 13 millimeters. It is good for medium to large gliders where Vario sensor is desired. The price, $39.99. So there you have it, guys, the all-new Radiomaster's ELRS PWM telemetry receiver lineup. Now, these receivers are an excellent choice for anyone looking for a compact and full-size, reliable control distance, feature-packed PWM receivers for your RC models. With its easy binding process, strong signal reception, and low latency response, it is a worthy addition to any radio control system. So now there is no excuse to not go the distance. So if you want to check it out for yourself, the product links are down below in the video description. And with that, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time.